Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mox Monkeys Podcast. I'm Zeke.
I'm Rowan.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Warren.
He's joining us today. And today we are just going to jump right into our main topics. We got some good ones. We're going to talk about lands combo in Canadian Highlander in 2026. And then we're going to kind of pivot into combo at large in Canadian Highlander.
Is it good? Is it bad?
Is it too good?
Is it too good?
Is it too bad?
Just right? Is this bed just right?
The Goldilocks format.
So,
Alas.
okay, so you're kind of the premier lands pilot at the shop. So.
Yeah, I've been playing lands probably like consistently for the last year with a brief a brief intermission where I was playing Jeskai's Slushy, which is kind of another control combo deck. I just found it really boring holding a handful of counter spells for a bunch of turns and then waiting to draw Gifts Ungiven to be able to press the advantage. So I just went straight back to lands. I think there's a big question. What the hell is lands combo, or what is lands in Highlander, right? Because lands can mean a lot of different things. There's a lot of different flavors. It's not as clearly a defined deck archetype or style as some of the other archetypes. And so when I think about like the taxonomy of lands, I really think there's two big branches. One of them is creature centric, right? You're going to get dorks. You're going to get your Badger Mole Cubs, your Springheart and Tucos. Okay. You're spending a point on natural order, right? Maybe you're doing Atraxa shenanigans.
Probably Gaia's Cradle as well.
Yeah, Gaia's Cradle is a great inclusion in those.
That's a land you choose.
Which, spoiler, I think if you're in that archetype, you should just be playing Nadu. Like, Nadu just naturally slits into
I kind of just assumed this was Nadu.
It's pretty much Nadu, yeah.
Okay. But describes a Nadu deck.
It's Nadu featuring Fastbond, right? And like maybe one or two Crucibles. The new Mole Man, I think, is like a Nadu card more than it's like a lands deck style card.
Sure.
But those are like the cards you would expect to see in those like very creature centric archetypes. And then I think there are other land decks that are much lower on the creature count and are either trying to win via some lands aspect of the deck, or lands are the primary source of card advantage for the deck. And so you'll see like your scape shifts in those style of deck. You'll see there lately have been like more bug or blue based land strategies that are just very all in control. And then they have some land components. You get to rock your Uro. Uro is just an inclusion in all these decks probably. I'm playing a 4-color lands combo deck right now that is really a control deck, but then wins with a few specific ABC combo pieces that are hard to interact with. And for that deck, I'm not playing a bunch of cantrips. Instead, I'm relying on the recursion of my lands as my source of card advantage throughout the course of the game. And I'm trying to build an advantage in the early game by speeding into an early strip mine lock, something like that. The deck that I play, I think affectionately goes by the name Strip Club. I had been playing like a green-black mid-range style shell that was very creature-centric, and I was just getting absolutely blown out by Jeskai all the time because I think creature-based decks and creature combo decks have the susceptibility to Jeskai where you play a 3-drop and they answer it with a 1-mana spell. And you lose so much tempo playing
Jeskai just beats up on creatures.
Yeah, you're like, here's 3 elves. I'm going to get so far ahead. And hey, here's a Brotherhood's End.
So in your opinion,
there's any removal spell.
There's like 3 big lands kind of shells. There's the Nadu kind of lands. There's like your heavy blue lands deck, so like a Teamer Scape Shift kind of.
I think the blue lands decks are a little bit newer. I think there's lands pilots that are going like way more into permission, like way more into control magic, and that's probably just because of the accelerated nature of combo in the format now, where let's just play counterspells, right? Let's just sit back and play counterspells. So I see that, but yeah, I think it's just either like creature heavy, creature centric, or light on creatures. So I've seen lands decks that play Oath, and maybe they're on 1 creature or 3 creatures, right? Like, hey, here's a Lumra, an Atraxa, and something else, and then they're just doing like land stuff, or it's like in the teens, like 12 to 16 creatures, and they all have a specific purpose.
Sure,
that type of a thing. Yeah. And so, yeah, if somebody ever asks, hey, is this a lands card? Well, it's like, well, what style of deck are you actually talking about? Are you talking about creatures that care about landfall? Or are you talking about like this thing that's like really hard to interact with that's trying to strip you out of the game early and playing, like a lot of just hyper efficient spells and things like that.
So your deck isn't on like Bristly Bill inside that combo.
Exactly.
Not on those kinds of effects.
Again, I think that those cards just get like very easily blown out. My step one was, hey, if like mana dorks suck in the late game and they suck in the early game against Jeskai, they're really good. Obviously, they're explosive, right? They're a little 1-mana Moxen. that pump up your guys' cradle and natural order you into a win con. But I was like, well, what is the acceleration that you could play besides that? And I landed on cards like Growth Spiral. Ancient Tomb obviously is like a point worth spending where it is just 2 lands, so it is early acceleration. There was a while where I was playing an Arboreal Grazer because it turned Green Sun Zenith into a 2-mana ramp effect.
Sweet.
Yeah, the
From
beast
him,
with
though.
reach. Yeah.
The beast with reach.
There's also the other green-blue instant where you look at the top 4, put a land into play
Planar
tap.
Genesis.
Planar Genesis card is freaking great.
You're playing it?
It's a
Yes.
great anticipate. Yeah. Or
Phenomenal.
impulse.
So you
Yeah.
play those because you can either hold that or some sort of interaction up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I can hold up
Mhm.
Abrupt Decay, I can hold up an opposition agent or a Bird Jesus or
I
something
mean,
like
speaking on
Yeah.
1-mana ramp that doesn't get removed, are you on like Wild Growth, Utopia Sprawl effects?
that. No Wild Growth or Utopia Sprawls. Maybe worth exploring, but I'm not really. So my deck actually isn't trying to accelerate or ramp necessarily. It is trying to accelerate, but it's not necessarily trying to ramp. I'm not playing big things that cost a lot of mana like Prime Time or anything like that. My curve, I think Titania is the biggest thing in my deck. I have a few 4-drops. The rest of it caps out at 4. And for the most part, I'm trying to push the curve down as much as possible and be hyper efficient so that I have the highest likelihood to establish turn 3, here's a Crucible effect, here's a Strip Mine or a Wasteland, and then you try to interact with that, right?
Yeah.
So calling the deck Strip Club and having watched the deck a lot and played against it a lot, it seems like one of the biggest like win cons is just like getting a strip block. You talked about value being like your card advantage and value being from your recursion.
Mhm.
Seems like the main like goal, the main engine is yes, get a waster strip block.
It
going.
is designed to get as frequently on turn 3 a Crucible strip lock style effect. I could be playing like Ren 6, which is like a card that gets you there in the same amount of time. If you wanted to go into red, that's a thing you could do, but I'm not on red. I'm
Yeah.
redless. But yeah, I think Mana Denial is probably the only like universal style of prison that you could play in the format. So you have like your Blood Moon effects, your Harbinger of the Seas, right? Your tax effects, and then you have Wasteland Strip Mine. And so I think like those are good ways to just pin, no matter what your opponent is doing, just pin them down, right? And then try to get ahead by playing other things that are hard to interact with in the league game. So yeah, plan A is it's a strip block, right? Here's a turn 2 or a turn 3 strip block on like an average, whatever, and then try to go for a turn 3 or turn 4 kill with the combo pieces. And so, as you are all familiar, it's an ABC combo.
Yeah.
Plan or part A is Crucible, and so in late 24-25, they've printed like 4 good Crucible effects that are actually playable. In the form of like Walk-in Closet, Ice Till Explorer, the Simic Enchantment from Dragons is
The Siege.
You have
is-
so many.
yeah, playable. I mean, they just put out Mole Man. I'm not a fan of a 1/1 body. but
Remind me, what does Mole Man do?
Mole Man is a 3-mana 1/1 with a Crucible Clause on it. You can play lands from your graveyard, and it has a landfall ability that makes Malloid tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Those tokens, when they attack, they mill a card.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a nice,
Lloyd.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But he is just a 1/1 body. Again, great Nadu card,
Mm.
right? It's just another landfall, make a 1/1 for
Yeah.
your Skull
Oh, yeah.
Clan
Oh baby.
style card.
For your Nadu.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so plan A is Crucible.
Time to go
So
Nadu.
part A is going to be your Crucible effect. Part B is going to be Fastbond,
Mhm.
right? Did nothing wrong. Fastbond's great. Which Fastbond, for those not familiar with vintage power level Magic, lets you play any number of lands a turn. For each land after the first, you take a damage. Damage and not life loss, very relevant here because Part C are ways to not take that damage.
Mhm.
So Glacial Chasm is a land that does it for you. It prevents all damage. I also have Courser of Crufix in the deck,
Okay.
specifically because it is another Glacial Chasm on a body in a deck where I'm already playing lots of tutors for green creatures. Also, sneakily an enchantment for Enlightened Tutor. So there are just
That's fun.
other ways to tutor up a Courser. And then I also have Zuron Orb, which is like a classic, right? You
Yeah.
can sacrifice lands to gain life, which allows you to just keep going off. Once you've assembled those pieces, so long as you have a fetch land in the cycle, or a Surveil land, and then either the Zergon Orb to sacrifice lands, or a Wasteland or Strip Mine to be able to Wasteland or Strip Mine your own Surveil land. You can surveil your library into your graveyard until you hit a desert. So I play Lush Oasis, the green-blue desert from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, common. When it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage. And so you can either sack it to Zergon Orb and keep recasting it until your opponent's dead in that turn, or you can just strip it repeatedly and then play it and then just do that over and over and generate a loop.
So infinite life damage.
Yeah. So once you have ABC, getting to the kill part of the combo is sort of arbitrary because you can just go get it and do it.
Yeah. I feel like when I've seen you struggle, it's either been people are just disrupted what you're doing enough that you can't manage to put A, B, and C all together at the same time.
Yeah.
Or someone's just killed you. It's like you've established a strip lock on me a few times when I've been like, okay, this is scary, but I'm still hitting you for 6 a turn, and you have no way to deal with it. So you need to find other pieces to kill my creatures, get a Glacial Chasm lock, and stop me from just hitting you.
Absolutely. Yeah, the deck uses life as a resource aggressively. You're playing all 10 fetch lands. You're playing Thoughtseize effects. You're playing...
Fastbond has a real cost.
Fastbond.
Yeah.
If you keep a Fastbond opener, Ancient Tomb, if you keep a Fastbond opener, like, you're just going to do it to yourself. And there are quite a few games where you just try to oops into the win. So you may be able to have some limited amount of surveils, but you're not negating the damage. And so you're limited by your life total, but maybe you can, like, whoops-a-daisy, here is Nurturing Peatland, and now I can start drawing cards, or here's the Glacial Chasm off the top, right? And then that allows you to finish up the game. I think, to your point, aggressive strategies can definitely take advantage of the life loss that I'm going to cause to myself. I think, Zeke, you and I played in a tournament where I had like a turn 1 Fastbond, and by turn 2, I think I had like 12 lands in play or something like that. Your turn 2 play was play your second land pass, and then you just price for progress me, and I lost the game. So that definitely can be a strategy.
That one felt good.
Yeah. It was just sit there.
I was like, don't play Glacial Chasm, and I got him.
Nice.
Turn 2 land, go. Here's price progress. Yeah. So it's definitely a thing.
You've been playing the deck for a while. It has many strengths. What would you say are your bad matchups? What would you say are your good matchups?
I think Red-Black. I actually think Red-Black is one of like the top decks to punish all combo decks that we're going to talk about later probably.
Sure.
It's definitely good against lands. The Blood Moon, the disruption in the form of Hand Hate, the aggressive creature base, pressure, and then I also think that if you're on like Scaminator, me trying to trade resources with a reanimation plan on efficient bodies, the combination of that is just like sometimes insurmountable. So if you play a bunch of creatures and I can like Rat the Skies or Vicious Offering or something like that, and then you can just reanimate your best creatures that also gets you card advantage, I can't keep up with it. They can really grind in the mid game.
Sure.
There's like a wall of text on every red 3 drop with haste now.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think Black Red is really good. And then faster combo.
Okay.
If you're not disruptive enough, faster combo is just going to do faster combo things. I think Time Vault is a very interesting matchup because my deck is geared towards beating up on permanence and mid-range strategies. And so, they're like average hands where they're playing a turn 2 mana rock. They have an enchantment or an artifact in their mana base, and they play like a planeswalker or another artifact. You can really disrupt those types of starts from them. And then also the searching, right? If I can get up to 3 mana and play one of the disruptors in the form of like Ashiok, Aven Mind Sensor, or Opposition Agent, you can kind of punish what they're doing. The decks that like Timmy Tinker, for example, where you can strip lock them like really early, turn 2, whatever, they don't care. They play so much cheap artifact mana and so much free mana, and they really only have, I think, like 7 impactful spells that get them to their win conditions. And if you can't interact with this like on the stack with those spells early, that deck is very fast. If you can't interact early on the stack, like there's really nothing my deck can do. Board wipes really don't matter. Removal doesn't matter. Blowing up their artifacts, it's kind of irrelevant. They're gonna hit a tutor, they're gonna put something into play that you can't answer, and then they're gonna cast a threat that's very difficult to deal with. So I think just like other faster combo decks or those like heavily disruptive mid-range decks.
I feel like your deck though just absolutely demolishes just like a mid-range, just like a straight up mid-range deck. It just like, as someone who's played a lot of mid-range against that deck,
Yeah.
I just like it feels insurmountable a lot of times because you like spend all this time getting these things in play and then you just like have this strip lock or you have the key piece removal and it's just like I can't climb out of that hole now.
As long as I'm at like 1 life, I can like just win the game on the next turn.
Yeah.
In so many instances, I've done that. So yeah.
This card's not new, but I feel like Bright Glass Gear Hulk really blew the doors off this deck.
Yeah. Yep. I think so too.
Just being able to get Fast Pawn Zone Orb with one card.
Yeah. And notable mention, Static Prison is just like a universal answer to everything that you can get off Bright Glass. And then also, I've been playing Miri's Guile, notable mention. Lately, it is just like a thing you can get that is going to give you more card selection if you're looking for extra pieces and your Zero Orb Fast Pawn's not going to get you there, or if you need an answer in a pinch. I actually think a lot more decks, because of the amount of searching and fetching in the format, should be on Miri's Guile.
And what does Miri's Guile do?
Miri's Guile's a single green mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top 3 cards of your library, you can put them back.
Yeah.
And so
It's like Top and Sylvan.
yeah, it's like a Sensei's Top activation every turn for free after you cast it, essentially. And if you're on fetch lands, search effects, like I mentioned, if you're on surveil lands, where
The
you can
real high
get
of
it-
that card is these fetching. Because
Yeah.
you take your 1, get rid of the crap, do it again. Every turn is phenomenal.
Yeah, when you told me you were on that, I was like, what is he doing? But seeing it in action, it especially like you said, with the amount of like shuffling you do, that really makes it worth it.
Yeah, a turn 1 or turn 2 Miri's Guile can see you like 7 to 9 cards that you wouldn't see in the course of the game for no additional investment.
Especially because you're digging for key pieces.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're on an AB or ABC combo deck, I think like a card like Miri's Guile is like very relevant in helping you assemble that if you want to go faster.
Nice.
I can see it.
That's kind of, I like it.
That's Lance combo.
That
Anything else?
is Land's combo. Strategy, play patterns. Just like you mentioned, Gear Hulk. A lot of the decks are optimized to just put a Gear Hulk into play. I see Gear Hulk in other decks. I know like Time Vault plays Gear Hulk, Nadu plays Gear Hulk. It makes a lot of sense in a deck like Nadu where you have so many valuable targets. Time Vault, if you're not on the Fast Bond plan, I don't know. It's a value card. It's a good value card, but I think it's also hard to cast, expensive.
Yeah,
slow.
it's on the chopping block for me. Just like
Gear Hulk is?
yeah, just for
a
the
lot of
reasons.
mana.
Because other Time Vault lists are on Fast Bond. I'm not, so obviously you can get powerful cards with Time Vault. Like I had a game recently where I just got a land and a mana vault, and that was good enough. But yeah, it's one of those cards where
It's so good if you can cast it, but can you cast
the double green, double white is a real cost, and Time Vault is playing a lot of blue. So
Yeah.
Well, there is that new land in Marvel for 4 and a tap, makes 4 mana in any combination. I've been looking at. Yeah.
It also taps for colorless.
Also taps for
does
colorless.
it come in untapped?
I think it comes in untapped.
Okay.
I have to look. We could throw it up over my face.
Look at the screen now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something where I see like the restrictive cost of like a Gear Hulk or the Lorwyn Eclipsed incarnations, elementals. The things where if you
The
pay
evoke
this,
ones?
yeah, the evoke ones, because it's if you pay 2 of this or 2 of that, get the effect, right? It's a thing. I don't know. You have to find the land, and then you have to want to do it, and then it's an extra mana to activate because you have to tap the land. But it does enable a lot of things that I think could be interesting if you want to get super greedy.
So in your opinion, this is kind of the strongest version of lands at large?
It's meta dependent for sure.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
I said, it crushes mid range decks. You get to play board wipes like Wrath of Skies and Vicious Offering, which are like nuts. You get to play a lot of disruption. I'm not as heavily on counter magic as some other lists. So those lists might be better into fast combo because they play Force of Will, Force of Negation, etc. Days, like just a lot more counter magic that a deck like Timmy Tinker or Storm would have more trouble, I think, dealing with a handful of those cards and getting through it. But I think it is, in my opinion, stronger than like the creature lists. When Jeskai's the top dog, I don't like being on the dorks. That's pretty much like the heuristic that got me to this point.
That's fair. The one question I was going to ask is that I feel like I've generally seen sort of a fall off of devoted lands and a rise in sort of people just including a lands package into their already existing combo decks. You can see that in a lot of Time Vault decks.
Yeah.
You can see that in Nadu as well. You'll just have like random bits of lands combo just woven through another deck if it fits well.
Yeah, they may just include a very tight package where it's like, oh, I can just get 2 to 3 strip mines a turn in the mid to late game to close the door if I want to, and I think that that's a powerful include for those decks that are doing it.
Or you just keep doing Urza Saga stuff.
Yeah.
I think like if you think about like lands as an archetype historically in Eternal formats, you're like driven towards cards like Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, Dark Depths, right? And I think that those cards could be included. I've seen some like prison style lists lately that are more artifact blue-white planeswalkers playing like Tabernacle again, right? My experience has generally been that those cards are just bad in Canadian Highlander. The Tabernacle can slow people down if they're on creature lists, but what I've experienced is that so many of the creatures get their value from entering the battlefield. So you can play a Seasoned Dungeoneer, take the initiative, and then just never pay for the Tabernacle, let it die, and
Still good.
just run away with the initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the initiative,
And then Dark Depths is like super telegraphed, and there isn't necessarily a high density of ways to take advantage of it, and you will give up a lot of advantage in your games where Dark Depths is a colorless land that doesn't make mana.
Yeah.
And then Thespian Sage is a colorless land that doesn't let you cast your spells. And, so on and so
For a
forth.
4-color version,
Yeah. And then you're playing like, like Echoing Deeps.
and then it gets
or-
petty thefted.
Yeah.
You feel really
I think
bad.
Swords
almost
Path.
every deck plays at least one answer to Merit Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very easy to answer in the format, for sure. It
hilarious,
doesn't get
yeah.
eroded, which is cool.
It's true.
But,
Mhm.
but yeah, it usually gets petty thefted, and you feel terrible. And then you die to the 3/3 immediately
All
after.
right, cool.
It hurts me.
Okay, so I think this naturally pivots us into our next topic, which is just kind of combo in 2026.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of discussion about it at the shop, online, just
Everywhere.
as we talk about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to start with all of us saying one at a time, how do we feel combo is as a whole in this format?
Also include, I think, like what combo decks you play the most in the format, because I think we all have like a lot of reps with different style combo lists.
You are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start.
Down the line.
Lately, I've been on the Time Vault kick because it was kind of the boogeyman for me for a long time because I've lost to it a bunch and I was like, oh, this deck looks boring. And I couldn't have been more wrong. The deck is a blast to pilot. It's really fun. And it is as good as people say it is. I think I've been playing it for like 3 weeks. I think I've lost 2 matches out of like, 20 games or something. Which is a pretty good win rate.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good players that we play with, so I feel pretty good about that. And a lot of it, I think what's strong about Time Vault is it's just luck sack maxing a lot of times. Like the deck has a lot of really good pieces, but it also just has some of the best top decks in the game. Sometimes you're on the draw and your opening hand is a key and Mana Vault, and then you draw a Time Vault and you go, oh, I guess I'll just win now. So it's pretty good. So I've had a lot of reps with that, and I think the deck is very strong.
Great.
So
Do you think it's too good?
we can get to that. Let's finish this, and then we'll get to that.
So we're giving slightly longer answers than I wanted. That's fine, I think. So when you put together a combo deck and start playing it, maybe you net deck a combo deck. Like if I were to net deck, say, not do combo, I would probably be winning about 40% of my games that week. But if I dedicated myself to that deck, and if I played that deck over and over and over and over again, and started tweaking it, especially to our game source meta, I'd be winning about 65% of games after a couple of months. I think on the whole, combo is very strong, especially right now.
Are you talking about a specific deck or just combo?
Combo as a whole.
Okay.
But I also heard somebody say the best way to beat combo is to play against somebody who is not good at playing combo. And so in an example of playing against Warren, he's been playing only this deck, lands combo, for a while. So it's kind of hard to best him. Sometimes you get there when somebody mulligans wrong or trips, and you don't do that as much as I would like. So that's why I think combo is good, but most people aren't as good as they can be at a combo deck that they play.
I think you're speaking to like the good player feature. I
Mhm.
think of a lot of combo pilots, which is they in Eternal formats, it's very rewarding to invest in learning all the lines of a combo deck and spending time piloting that deck. And so you can make meaningful gains in your win rate by sinking time and attention into a deck and really understanding what's going on.
I've a little done that. I spent a lot of time playing Lotus Breach. I'm playing Flash Hulk part-time right now. My first deck was Belcher Storm, and I'm really kind of off combo right now. I took apart Lotus Breach because I needed the sleeves. And I'm in my combo era. Right now I'm playing, my aggro era. I'm playing a lot of Blitz and a lot of like life gain shitters. So that's kind of what I'm playing. I like playing right now. I don't play much combo right now. So
I do want to push back. I feel like a lot of what you said isn't unique to combo. I spent a lot of time winning tournaments with medium red, a deck which I love deeply, but is also maybe not the best deck in the format. But I'm very good with the deck. I know how to play it well, and I'm able to win tournaments. I think like a lot of what you said is true of any deck you play, whether it's like Mardu Welder, medium red, Jund,
Jeskai.
Even Jeskai has a lot of like depth.
I'll take 2-3 weeks off Jeskai, come back and be like, I'm doing terrible. What's going on?
Yeah.
But if I play it straight for a day or week after week, I'm feeling good on it for a while.
Yeah. I think
combo specifically, a lot of like new combo players don't think about, you still have to play around what your opponent's doing a lot. That influences your mulligans a lot. That influences your play patterns a lot. So that's why I would say I'm very much a above average Magic player, only by a little bit. I'm not like a top dog Magic player. I'd like to be, and I like to keep practicing. My biggest issue is I swap decks a lot. I'm not really married to one deck. You two have like your one or two decks that you love. You and I jump around a lot, but you're still really good at like Jund Rakdos, and now you're getting very good at Time Vault. So my biggest issue is I don't dedicate myself to one deck. I like to play a bunch of different decks. I like playing aggro because I personally love the lines of it right now, where aggro and combo are kind of similar. You have to sequence it right. You have a game plan of, I'm going to play these cards that are going to kill you. And if I do them in this order, that's the way that's going to get me there. And you have to sometimes pivot based on what your opponent's doing. If they play a blocker, it's, okay, how do I get around that? I'm playing Giant Growth because I'm big brained and nobody expects Giant Growth. So, but that's because I'm playing Blitz.
Sure.
This is a sidebar into
this was
Blitz.
Blitz. Play
Okay.
Blitz. It's great.
Well, the
Blitz
original
is
question
strong.
was just like, how do you feel about combo right now? Is that so? Yeah.
I am generally of the opinion that it's very, very good. Specifically, I'm looking at artifact combo.
Mhm.
You know, related to what you said about, if you show up to a place and play a deck, you'd expect what, a 40% win rate?
If you've never played it before,
I recently did this. I went to a very small local tournament, only 4 people, but I went there. I was like, oh, halfway there, I forgot my decks, and I can't really turn around. I'm just gonna DM the tournament organizer and ask to borrow a deck. And I borrowed Time Vault. I went undefeated in this tournament. I had never played this deck before. I think the deck is really, really good.
Are you saying?
I lost no games.
Yeah, I believe you.
Like it's really good. I think the way that it can swap between combo, mid-range, and aggro even sometimes is just really good. They'll stop whatever you're trying to do, right? You're at plan A, and you can just seamlessly swap to a plan B that's also incredibly strong, right? You're playing all the best parts of all these different disparate plans, so that if someone counters your lands plan, they play a Blood Moon. Then you go, oh, half my hand is completely colorless, and I have all these mana rocks. So your Blood Moon is actually just 3 mana for negative tempo, and I'm going to cast this Cap Cannoneer and beat you over the head with it, right? You can just
kills people, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Another thing I've learned about combos is if you counterspell them, that's just a time walk.
Yeah.
You're not stopping them. They're gonna keep going. You need to apply pressure and disruption, or a butt ton of pressure and no disruption. That's one way to do it. But
So you've kind of had a unique perspective on combo. I mean, I think we share similar things, but
I think when we all started jamming Highlander the most, especially like at the shop where we play, the metagame was largely defined from like a combo perspective by Academy, Turbo Citadel, and Reanimator. I think those were probably the most prevalent. Time Vault existed, but they were doing weird things, right? Like there was like a 4-color Crucible build at the time, and this was like pre all these other Crucibles getting printed. And there were like I don't even know if there were other combo decks at the time. Slushy was probably more popular at that time as well. But now I think that players have generally recognized that the structure of the format incentivizes combo inherently. No matter what deck you're playing, you are incentivized to find an AB combo and stick it in there, right? And so one of the best ways to just beat that aspect of the format is to play a faster combo deck. And so I think over the last year and a half, year or so, the nature of combo in the format has kind of been accelerationist. So now you're getting Lotus Breach, you're getting Lotus D-Tutor, Time Vault has gotten a lot of, I would say, like meaningful pieces or just like better card quality in the cantrips, in the counterspell suite, in the planeswalkers. And so, it is a more resilient deck. And I think the hallmark of good combo decks are speed and resiliency in the format, right? Like they all kind of have that in common. They're fast and they're resilient. And so my take was like each combo deck kind of has a weakness. Playing a control aspect can exploit those weaknesses, but it depends. So if you're more worried about artifact combos, you can play things that play to the board and crush them, right? Like you can play cards like Questing Beast that answer the problematic planeswalkers, and you can play like Vicious Offering or just things that shatter important artifacts or hit key lands when they rely on like 3 or 4 utility lands to like do their most powerful thing in the form of like Academy or Fomori Vault or those types of cards. If they're playing on the stack, then that's probably more where I want to pivot to a deck like Slushy, where I'm sitting there and I'm literally doing nothing and I'm hoping to hit my land drop every turn with a handful of cards, and maybe I have to respond to something, and usually I don't. And then it kind of feels unwinnable. I played that deck for 5 weeks. I didn't lose any matches. I said, this is boring. I'm gonna go play something else. So, so yeah, I think that they're all exploitable. It's really just like what part, like where are you interacting with them and where is it exploitable, right? With Time Vault, I feel like it's on the battlefield. You answer their permanence. That deck is super mana hungry. You take away their fast mana, the rest of the cards kind of suck. Like, how are you going to Whir of Invention on 2 lands, right? Like, how are you going to Whir of Invention on 2 lands and a rock? It's just very difficult to get all of the value out of like their biggest pieces, like Wargate. Wargate has to suck if you're behind on mana and like all your rocks get blown up or meaningfully interacted with.
I mean, yes, but how do you do that? You're saying like if you have all of the answers to all of their cards, yes, that's really good. But how do you do that and not lose to everything else? You can't play 12 Abrades.
Well, yeah, but Abrade is just good, right? Abrade is like, I feel like...
People put in Abrade.
Yeah,
then what, right? Because you have to draw enough of them.
Cards
it's
like
a lot of
Abrade
Abrades
are just really good. You just have to look at like where you want to interact with them the most and then build your deck with the flex slots, your non-combo pieces, to interact like with that part of the deck. So like, I could be playing Collector Oof, right? If I really wanted to tech against artifact decks, there's no downside for me to do it. But also, it's like a 2/2 for 2 in a lot of matchups that doesn't block particularly well and just dies to any removal spell to Jeskai and is an irrelevant draw anyway. So I don't, because it's not a flexible card in the meta. So yeah, just find a concentration, play like multiple of those effects, and then use your mulligan.
This is where I think actually this is part of the biggest strength of artifact combo. Because you say all this, and I kind of agree. You can slot in a few cards, but you know what deck does this best, where it just slots in a few cards for each of their prominent combo matchups? It's Time Vault.
Sure.
You ever cast Whir of Invention X1 to find Grafdigger's Cage against your Turbo Citadel opponent?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of efficient answers.
You find
cards like Urza Saga just find you whatever you want. Graveyard Hate, Library Hate.
All of this is true, but the deck that is best equipped to do that is just Time Vault again.
Yeah.
So and then you just mid-range them with a Saga, with a Kappa Cannoneer, with Urza, and then just beat them to death with constructs.
Yeah, that deck is very flexible and very resilient. Yeah. But
so I just wanted to jump in with a little. We were talking about like combo feels unbeatable sometimes in X, Y, and Z, and I do think that is one of the not problems, but something with combo is that players who don't enjoy combo really don't enjoy combo, and they think that you just always have it or it's easy. And I think combo is very difficult to pilot.
Yes.
And I think unless you've piloted it, you don't know all the mental math that they're doing every turn, being like, okay, I have this counterspell, but I also have this Word of Invention. What are they going to do? Which one do I need to go with? So this is more of just a general PSA. If you're struggling against combo, I would really encourage people to try a combo deck just to be on the other side of it, so that you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you play against it and you're just like, how do they always have it? And a lot of times you have no idea just how lucky they're getting, or how much work they're doing on the back end that you don't see of like mulliganing correctly and stuff, because it does take a lot of work. That being said, I do think Time Vault is relatively easy to pilot.
Your first
In
time.
that, a lot of the cards just, every tutor kind of gets any piece you need, and your interaction is top tier. So it's not, I'm not saying that you're like dumb if you play Time Vault. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that it's one of those decks where
I would
you don't.
say you might be smart because you're playing the best deck in the format. That's a smart call.
It is one of the more linear combo decks in the format too, I think, because you are generally just going like acceleration piece or hold up counterspell. Right?
Yeah,
and
it's
then
just AB.
close
And
it all later.
since we're kind of in this Time Vault space, one of the reasons why I think it's strong is it's 4 mana to win. So you just need to get to 4 mana.
It's 2 cards.
And it's 2 cards,
And
and
it's
they're both colorless, and every single tutor in your deck finds both of them, which is really strong. And Urza Saga, you can't counter that one, so you just get it straight into play. And so, yeah, Time Vault. But I don't know, how do you fix it? If you think Time Vault is too strong, can you fix it? Do we need to fix it?
That's a very good question.
Do we need to fix combo at large?
Do more people need to play against Time Vault?
I think that's kind of the conversation we want to pivot to. Is like, I think we all agree combo is very strong.
Combo's strong. I don't think it's problematic combo.
Yeah. Do we think it's a problem? And if it is a problem, how do we fix it?
I think sort of the weird truth of Canlander is that it's a very community-based format.
I agree.
And like a lot of people, they build Time Vault, they play, they're like, oh, this is really, really good. And then they drop it because it is kind of linear. You do just kind of find this, find that, win game.
Well, that speaks to Rose point. She was like, yes, Flash Hulk is really good, Lotus Breach is really good, but she's like, I want to play aggro.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
So it's
also good.
The fun factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I
If
play
we were
Magic
tournament
for
grinding
fun.
every week for money, I don't think I would play anything other than Time Vault.
Yeah.
I probably would also not play.
And I'd probably be back on Lotus Breach.
As
I took
understand
apart
it-
Lotus Breach.
As I understand it, in the Discord where people are doing that, I think it is just like Time Vault grinders and Jeskai. And that's like 60% of the winners meta.
But also, you look at the Canlander's winners database.
Like, very
and
diverse.
It's very diverse.
Oh, yeah.
That's because you have like smaller tournaments here and there that happen, right? The old meme
That's
of
true.
like
But isn't that
small Japanese tournament.
Isn't that like where the format exists though? Is smaller tournaments?
You're
for the
not
most
wrong.
part? Like
You do see like big tournaments every once in a while, like MXP. But I remember the last MXP that I went to. Okay, the last one that I went to was Mardu Bullshit Pile one.
Yeah.
The year before that, it was Mono Red that won. So it's kind of hard to say that Time Vault is the best thing because sometimes something else happens. In the Yellow Jacket finals, like Jund won.
I mean,
Well, I think we're talking about two things
happen.
here, though. This is the best deck, and there is a factor of some people are just really good at this game, and they can win with any kind of deck that they want.
That's true.
Like, and when I've played against Ben Wheeler a few times, and it seems like he can pick up any pile of cards and just destroy you. And then I pick up those same pile of cards, and I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, I've tried his mono blue list, and when he plays it, it looks awesome. And I play it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm playing Commander.
Okay, you didn't know how half the cards worked.
That's
Hydro Man, baby.
That's fair. I do need to read the cards a little bit more. But, there is the fun factor of, like, some people, yes, they could play combo, but they like Jund. So they play Jund.
Yep.
Obviously, Jund is also very strong.
Another point is that being a community-based format, we are a small format. We want to ideally have more people. We have 12 people coming to our shop, which is great. But also, like, maybe the more the merrier. Who knows? If somebody new comes, you are thinking, I am not going to play Time Vault against this
I
person.
do not play Time Vault.
I'm going to play like Life Gain or Blitz against them because I want them to see like all my.
They're still
all
going to
these
lose on
draft
turn
drafts.
3, but they're going to feel better about it.
Yeah,
they're going to play the game.
They're going to lose to some Life Gain shit.
I was gonna say, to be fair, when like new faces have shown up on the Discord and then come to the store for Canadian Highlander or just shown up to play Canadian Highlander, they're playing Jeskai Control. and they're kicking my ass. They're turn one Library of Alexandria, and then just like, I've never played this format before, and then just Jeskaiing me out of the game with like an error card.
Yeah.
Right? And so
That is, Canlander players generally are more down for whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're not going to get as like butthurt about combo.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of flavors of combo, and like you said, I think that players who maybe feel like combo's too strong, either I'm assuming most of them, if they have an opinion already, have played combo, and do feel like it is too consistent or is the strongest thing to be doing. But also, I feel like there is a very specific type of player who not only recognizes that combo is very strong and that it is packing like the most lethal punch at all times, but also, like you said, will invest the time to get good at the decks. And that is a meaningful thing. A lot of players in Magic generally, outside of Canlander as well, don't want to grind a specific deck, don't want to put in reps. They want to play a lot of different styles of Magic. They want to play, they have a bag of 10 commanders, right? Like they want to always have a fresh experience, a new
they're playing
experience.
for fun.
They're playing for fun. They want a lot of diversity in their play. There's a specific type of player, though, that wants to get really good and experience the rewards of investing time into a specific deck that they like a lot. And I think that the combination of those things, a player who recognizes combo is really strong, and also people who play in eternal formats that recognize the rewards of taking the reps on combo, right, might be pushing combo, to be maybe feel too strong or overrepresented, or hey, like this is unbeatable. But it's like, yeah, but you've been playing Magic for 20 years and you've played so many combo decks, and like you probably have at least 100 hours on this deck specifically at this point.
And at that point, that person just deserves to win.
Totally.
And they're going to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the counter argument is that a lot of times it feels that I'm saying a lot of I feel things, but
That's okay.
there's some.
Let it out.
We don't have like
there
a
is
giant...
some data here, but
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say I feel. But combo doesn't really have to make a lot of sacrifices in the cards that they play. So again, I'm gonna bring up Time Vault for an example.
Yeah.
I get to play Graph Digger's Cage and Soul Guide Lantern and Portable Hole and these kinds of cards, and they also advance my game plan. So I get this card does two things because it is an artifact that either taps for improvise or makes my Tolarian Academy better, or it's something I can sacrifice for a transmute artifact. While as your mid-range 3-color Jund or whatever deck maybe has to play a card like Collector Oof that doesn't advance their game plan, isn't super great in that deck unless they're playing against Time Vault. So to me, them playing Collector Oof is a sacrifice, but me playing Graph Digger's Cage is not a sacrifice because it just advances my game plan. So I think that is the kind of the push and pull of why sometimes combo feels a little unfair.
Like your flex slots are actually an advantage. Their flex slots are an active like sacrifice or an active expenditure of their resources. Like
My flex slots don't make my deck worse in
and
other matchups.
It's much easier to find those cards that are flexed in there that are really good because of that tutor package that I talked about before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if my opponent is like worldly tutoring for Collector Oof, I can deal with that pretty easily because A, it's super telegraphed, and B, it's like slow.
Yeah.
Obviously you can get bodied by a Collector Oof.
Are you
but
playing Static Prison?
not this version.
Sure.
You're on Portable Hole.
I'm on Portable Hole.
Yeah.
Similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
Pros and cons of each.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting spot right now because like I do think combo is very strong. But like we see on the Canlander's Winter Database and just at the shop at large, people are playing all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
Like myself included. Like I'm not just playing Bant Time Vault, although I'm playing it a lot because like you guys said, I do want to get better at it. But
The comment I want to make is that, did you finish your thought?
yeah.
Okay. In the last 5 or so years, we've seen a real shakeup on Magic as a whole. And I don't think it's going to stop. It's going to continue because new cards get printed very often. And the thing that we see the most of is new threats.
Yeah.
And before that happened, there were 3 archetypes: combo, control, aggro. And now, more or less, right? There's some crossover. You can put them in 2 buckets. But there were combo decks, aggro decks, control decks. Some could be 1 or more.
Mid-range?
Mid-range is 1 or more. Is it not?
I think the way
It's
you have
aggro
divided
combo.
decks
Never
is
mind.
deeply flawed, but I think it would take years
I feel like
to
maybe
unravel
there's.
that.
I think if you said there's combo, aggro, mid range, control.
I would agree with
I think
Sure.
that is a.
We've seen a big uptick in the number of threats that are good, and that has made aggro decks better, mid-range decks better, control decks
Worse.
just decided to play those threats. So we talked about how control doesn't really exist anymore in the draw go sense. Like Jeskai is maybe a mid-range deck because it plays control package with these good threats. You're going to play a Ragavan. You're going to play an Aragorn. You're going to play a 4th Aralingus because why wouldn't you? Except me, I play Entreat the Angels because I'm better than everybody else. But then you look at combo decks. You have your deck and your deck, lands, and then Bam Time Vault get to play these good threats. You're playing like the Gear Hulk and the Urza Sagas as your like secondary plan. The Nadu deck plays a White Plume and friends to like just, oh, I'm not going to win this way. Cool, here's a White Plume. I've already got 3 dudes. Yeah. I'm just going to outvalue you.
Yeah, I mean, Nadu attacks for 3.
It does. You have Op Agent and Gear Hulk, and you've attacked with your Ramanov Excavator.
Yeah.
You get to
more
just
recently I'm on Questing Beast too, which just I was playing more removal, and then I thought, like, why do I care about my opponent's creatures when I can just answer the board with a threat?
That also stops the creature.
Yeah, so that's when I started to include Triumph of St. Catherine, which just absolutely bodies aggro and mid-range, right?
That card is, when I'm playing Blitz, that's a worse card for me than Barrowglyph.
Yeah.
I can kill a Barrowglyph, but it's a 3 for 1. Triumph does not die.
Not meaningfully. Yeah, not for
the
long.
last time we played, you played Triumph. I ended up using a pump spell to kill it. You shuffle it into the top. You go to your turn.
Oh.
You look at it for 5 seconds. I don't know what you're thinking, and then you just go.
I was reading how miracles work, probably.
Oh, you had to reread that. Sure.
You got to make sure.
I'm pretty sure I lost the game, but that hurt more than losing to combo.
Yeah,
honestly.
and yeah, that card stuffs mid-range and aggro decks for the most part.
So as Magic is like settling into this new, or Canlander at least, I'm not sure how other formats are doing right now with this, but like you have aggro decks which are souped up, control decks that are now mid-range decks, and combo decks that are now, for the most part, the word they use is hybrid combo. And I would say your deck and your deck are more so combo than hybrid combo, but the plan B is still really good on a lot of those decks. And that's why a lot of control decks can have a really hard time against some combo decks. Like when I'm playing Jeskai versus Van Time Vault, I feel really bad because, again, the counterspells don't stop you. They slow you down. And sometimes you just get a threat. And if it's down, I can't do much.
Absolutely. I think that's where your Lands combo deck and Bantime Vault share a lot of qualities, and especially against like a Jeskai matchup, is if they're dealing with your threat on board, they're not dealing with your combo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're wasting resources on your constructs or your questing beasts. Or
the best combo decks are those that can do a creature beatdown plan effectively.
Or they just like pivot into this like, okay, you counter my tutor, well, here's some constructs.
Or recursion.
You know, and then, or you can just sit back behind your wall of constructs, hold up some counter magic, and just draw cards until you find your combo.
Mm-hmm.
And so it leads to some games would just feel like it's like I had a bunch of, like, for your opponent, that they had answers for things and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And I think that is the feel bads that people are talking about when they say combo feels too good. Is it's like, how am I supposed to have 7 removal spells for every piece of this? And it's like, I kind of agree a little bit, because it's like, yes, it's like you have to deal with my Time Vault and my constructs and my counter spells.
Philosophically, if that's the thought train you're going down, how can I have enough individual removal spells in the same way that I pivoted my thinking, like, how can I have enough removal for mid-range decks and mid-range threats? It was just like, well, actually just play a better threat than them that they can't attack through, right? And I think it's like something similar. Like, you shouldn't try to answer everything
it's definitely
they're
like
doing.
a mindset thing.
Make them answer what you're doing in some meaningful way instead.
I agree, but isn't that also saying combo's too good? If the best answer to combo is better combo,
it can be better combo, but not necessarily. I think like the mid-rangey threats, like I think you can play like an Orcish Bowmaster, Hull Breacher, Opposition Agent, like style tempo list, and like meaningfully punish what the combo decks are trying to do.
But tempo's kind of built to be combo.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, tempo or like the Rakdos deck, which I also think is just very good.
But it's like, again, it's like there's only so many opposition agents. Then you're playing Aven Mind Sensor, which is much worse and still gets in.
Much worse.
Then what's your third option? Are you on
Vortex?
Hot.
Yeah. You want to take infinite turns? Be my guest.
Okay, yeah, but then you're playing Sulfur. You see what I mean? It's so.
But then you're playing
one, you're playing Mardu now.
Pre-modern
Two,
All-Star.
Two of the cards you're playing now suck. I thought that in 2023.
Yeah. Ashiok's okay, but
I love
yeah,
Ashiok.
yeah. Doesn't have flash, unfortunately. Unless you plus your Teferi and Sabine's Reclamation it.
That does not
So
well,
unless you're a god of the game and have perfect.
Yeah. Teferi's
Yikes.
messed up. So thumbs up, thumbs down, too strong?
I think at least some combo.
I'm gonna
decks are
go
just too
right
good.
here diagonally. I'm not saying
So
it's
not
like
too,
super strong.
not too strong. An appropriate feature of the format.
I'm gonna give it a 10 o'clock right here.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to articulate because too strong in what context?
Yeah.
It's like, is it too strong against your like mid-range deck? It's gonna feel that way because if you're not building your mid-range deck to beat whatever combo deck is your boogeyman, Flash Hulk is gonna feel bad when you lose on turn 2. It's gonna feel bad when you are swinging for lethal and then they play Flash and you're like, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. You know?
The deck that I have that has beaten your deck the most, Warren, is also the deck that he says is my worst deck.
It is.
It is, but that deck somehow just like gets in there.
Is it Flash?
The life gain deck.
Oh, yeah. So the power of a deck like the life gain deck or the aggro deck is in redundancy.
Mhm.
It's not, you don't get consistency by playing a bunch of tutors and then finding specific pieces. That deck just has redundancy in that it's always going to have, here's a turn 1 body. And over the next 2 turns, this turn 1 body is probably going to be, 6 to 8 damage because I'm going to strap some equipment to it or I'm going to buff it or
And
here's a
fetch,
1/1 counter.
You've Ancient Tomb.
Yeah. So, like, I've never seen that deck not just go, here's a threat, here's another threat, here's a couple more threats, or here's a way to improve my threats.
And then sometimes I duress, and that does a lot.
Yeah.
But
And now stumble while you try to answer these threats that I played, before you even had a land
Magic
play.
has a funny web of this deck beats this deck, this deck beats this deck, this deck beats this deck. And maybe there are some that win over more decks more often.
Yeah.
But
Also, that deck is great against removal.
Yeah.
So, like, the meaningful ways that you would normally interact with, like, an aggro deck, you just get the creatures back a lot of times.
Helping Hand's great.
Yeah, so I think if we're like closing off this thing, just talking like, do we think combo's too good?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the top dog right now. I don't know if it's too good,
I mean, I think Ban Time Vault is the best deck you could be playing in
Sure.
an open meta.
Yeah.
but I mean, I've been playing for almost 2 years, and the pendulum swings a lot. When I started, Jeskai Green was like really good.
Omniscitive,
And Omniscitive, Jeskai Green, these shells, and you don't see Jeskai Green right now.
No.
And so that was kind of a mid-range slop deck because you were getting to free roll a bunch of points. But, so I think we're in a combo's good pendulum, and as
We'll be leaving it in a
we'll
year
leave
or
it
so.
eventually. Maybe we won't. That's the thing. Is it feels like I think that's the real meat of this argument is like, how do we get out of this? Because it doesn't feel like we can leave it right now. Because again, I don't know what would they point at a time vault.
So now we're talking about if we all agree on the supposition that like it's too good and Time Vault's too good. I think the top 3 decks that people complain about are Lotus decks, Flash, and Time Vault, right? Those are probably they all play a 7-point card, right? That wins the game typically.
Yeah.
And so if we agree, let's say for the sake of argument, that those decks are too strong for a healthy metagame, then we're talking about solutions or changes or arguments to help it or hurt it or whatever you will do.
Yeah.
So you're saying for Time Vault, if you wanted to hurt Time Vault, what would you do?
I don't feel like there's a general card they can just hit.
Honestly,
No.
I feel like I just bump Vault back up. Vault to 8.
Vault to 8.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
I
all
think
the
you-
3
Well, what I was
7-point
gonna
cards
say
up to
is-
8 and take away
Honestly,
like another
I think
point.
you could maybe just
Maybe.
like I think Flash is probably too good. I think Vault is probably too good. I'm not sure Lotus combo decks are. Like
No.
people keep talking about all these like Lotus Storm combo decks.
The-
I've never seen one of those do it.
The biggest weakness to Lotus Breach, I believe, is that it doesn't get new cards as often.
Sure.
It wants fast mana and cantrips and tutors.
Yeah.
And it
just want the
doesn't.
fantastic card.
So yeah, that's true.
That's real.
So that's like
You can
Lotus.
shut up.
That's Lotus
That's a
Breach,
real
right?
card.
Yeah, I don't know about any other Lotus decks.
Well, there's
Well, there's
Lotus,
DT
there's
Lotus.
DT Lotus, yeah, which is like
Boomer Storm, they call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
could be
Yeah.
Boomer
Is this
Storm.
Boomer
Tendrils?
Storm or is this Regrowth Storm?
I think I've seen Regrowth
There's a couple
Storm.
variants going on.
Yeah,
right
there
now.
are a couple.
Lotus
What,
is good.
Boomer Storm plays like red rituals and stuff, or I don't know how to.
Yeah,
how to
maybe,
really
I
tell
don't
the
know.
difference, but so does like Breach, right?
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe it
no,
just hasn't
I mean,
reached as
I
far.
played Red
I
Ritual,
played
yeah.
against a Boomer Storm deck recently, our buddy Jared,
Mhm.
and I lost because he just stormed and then he cast Ave.
Yeah.
The ooze.
The ooze?
The
Yes.
green.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
he was
No.
just like,
Wheeler did that to me last
well, I'm just gonna have 6 oozes in play and pass the turn, and I was like,
Yeah, get hunting
Oh, now I'm
packed.
dead.
Terminus!
you know, so
But I think those decks have the fatal flaw. Not really, because it's really hard to answer. But they play out of the graveyard,
Yeah.
and so if you do have a Grafdigger's Cage,
Exactly.
right, you're insulated against those. If you have a Dathi Voidwalker, that's really good against those decks.
That card's underplayed. I feel like it turns off half of all combo decks.
It is underplayed, probably. Yeah, I think Dathi's good.
So if we're talking about, let's just talk about just the boogeyman. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
just say Flash and Bantime Vault. Let's just say that those are the 2 boogeymen.
Okay.
Is there a card that both of them play that we could point that would hit both of them?
Good
Because I
question.
don't think that I don't.
Rainstorm.
Muddle the mixture.
Yeah.
Because like Time Vault plays Enlightened Tutor. I don't
That's
think
0
Flash
points.
plays that.
No.
If they pointed Enlightened Tutor, I don't think that would be insane. But it would be a
natural
very
target.
targeted point.
Yeah, it really.
I think it would hurt the Breach decks. It would
Yeah.
hurt the Time Vault, obviously. But then again, Time Vault just pivots to Fabricate, and I don't know how much we've lost.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I'm still kind of down for just both their 7s to 8.
I think the 7s to 8 is probably the most streamlined solution.
I play
Because
Flash
you
Hulk.
literally don't have collateral damage when you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it just forces them to play less cards that are deserving of a point.
Flash Hulk, my version loses Merchant Scroll if you do that, and like that already just feels slow.
Yeah.
So like it's good. Don't get me wrong,
I mean,
but I still
it
think
gets your win con in your hand. But yeah. It is.
it's 4 mana, so I don't love it. Flash Hulk is
Unlikely.
solid. It used to be, I think, Protean Hulk used to be pointed, and I know at some point in time, Summoner's Pact was pointed.
Mhm.
A 1 point for Summoner's Pact, because Summoner's Point is not really a card; it's just a Protean Hulk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be a card. It's
So
just
like I just what I'm afraid is they like put Time Vault to 8 and Flash to 8, and then they also put Talarian Academy to 2, and then I'm like, well, now my deck is fucked.
Yeah, it's rough.
So
I think it
Weren't
would
you saying
encourage
you were
more
gonna
deck
cut
diversity.
Academy anyways?
if they were to bump up the things, I think Academy would be the first to go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because I think Vault and Urza Saga are strong, are
Mhm.
really strong in that deck. Academy just like really greases the wheels,
Mhm.
but I love Talarian Academy. Please don't put it to 2.
So we talked about point increases. Do you think there are any meaningful point decreases that could be used to target this topic at all?
What would Canlander look like with Mox into 2? I'm not saying this is the move, but what would it look like? Mox into 2.
You could play 5 Moxen.
But why would you play 5 Mox? Why would you play 5 Moxen? 'Cause
Five
like,
color artifact aggro.
Activate Golos.
in Blitz, especially Blitz, but somewhat in Life Gain, having off-color Mox would kind of just suck. They wouldn't do much.
Yeah, but we're talking about Blitz here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have
I'm just
never seen
joking.
anyone but you play Blitz.
I think that deck's pretty fucking fun.
I'm not saying
good.
it's not.
You're
Have a tier
you're
above
having a
Infect.
blast, and I love that you play.
Your win rate against it is less than 50, dog.
I don't think I think I've won like 2 games out of 9. Blitz fucks with my head. I think I play badly, honestly. It's just
Blitz.
It's a meta call. Get in his head.
it's a medical against exactly me.
But cards,
anyway.
cards to be D-pointed, not DT, not Vamp Tutor.
I think
Definitely not the tutors that are already pointed.
Mox to 2.5.
No, we're not touching the Mox. That's a crazy thing to say.
Ren and 6.
To 0?
Ren
or
and
1?
6.
Like they point
I
you
think
down.
I think we would
instantly.
talk about like the creatures on there basically. So
Yeah.
Ren and 6, White Plume.
White Plume to
I
0.
don't know about White Plume.
Actually,
What about
I'm
Frog?
just saying-
Frog at
Honestly,
1
I'm
is
still
like-
raw from initiative mid-range meta, where it was just like who can out initiative the other player harder.
But that's the thing. If we're saying that mid range is struggling,
Yeah.
then unpointing these mid range
Right,
cards
yeah.
could
Yeah.
help it.
So in that vein, I thought Reanimate. Like I said,
Huh.
dedicated Reanimator I think is just super weak, especially after the pointing of balance. But I do think that you can't unpoint balance because then Academy will just play it.
Yeah.
So it helps the
Then Time
artifact
Vault
decks, right?
if Time Vault gets balanced, ooh, baby.
Yeah. Time Vault Academy. The Turbo Citadels used to rely on that card a lot. So you can't really like.
I hadn't thought
introduce
about
that back into the
Reanimate.
wild.
I think Reanimate's interesting.
But yeah.
Because when they pointed it, Reanimator was kind of an issue. Like a lot
For a
of people
long
was
time,
a competitive
Blue
combo.
Black
because
Reanimator.
they were kind of free rolling Reanimate and Balance
And Psychic Frog.
and Psychic
Psychic
Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't want to point or unpoint any blue cards, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. I mean,
But-
all
Fair.
of the highest pointed cards are all colorless or blue.
Yeah.
What about
And
Ancient Tomb?
so I had
That's
thought about
dangerous.
this because the fast mana is a way to like unbridle the initiative decks and the mid range decks, right? That's the best thing about them,
Right.
and like the medium red builds.
Mhm.
But I'm putting
then
I'm
Time
putting
Vault will just
Ancient
play
I'm putting
Ancient.
Ancient 2 in my Time Vault deck right away.
And so that's the concession. you
Yeah,
make.
you're
I
right.
mean,
Every deck's better with
Mana
Ancient Tomb.
Crypt? Like,
To 4?
Time Vault? Yeah, Time Vault can't play Mana Crypt.
Mana Crypt to 4.
Oh, you know what?
Right?
The difference between Soul Ring, Mana Crypt and Soul Ring when I first started playing were both 4.
Does Mana Crypt to 4 meaningfully change anything though?
I get to add Strip Mine.
I get to add.
Okay.
That's
four-
not nothing.
I get to add a
Point
new
strip
card
line?
to Boros.
Is that what we're doing?
Ooh. That...
Unpoint strip.
I
Holy.
don't know what that would do.
You're salivating at it.
I'll start playing Ghost Quarter too if they do that.
Oh, God.
Get way in there.
Oh, I'm putting in 5 basics to every deck.
Yeah, Ghost Quarter your strip mine.
Oh god.
Is there a ley line that gives you hexproof? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
There is,
we all
but
just start playing that?
That's
No, but
not
it's
how
for
strip line
you,
works,
not
yeah.
for your
Everything.
permanents.
Oh,
That's like one of the first
we're gonna
lines.
cut that out. Uh,
Should we wrap this up soon?
yeah, I think the consensus is, like combos is powerful, but them's the ropes.
You don't
That's
need
just the way it is.
banning.
Is that kind of the vibe?
Maybe some more fiddling, maybe some
Occupational
light
hazards.
moves, but I think it's...
When we were talking about like archetype breakdowns within the control archetype for other formats, typically a meaningful component in eternal formats is some form of a prison deck. There is like a Karn Lattice deck, there is a Chalice of the Void deck, there's a Trinisphere deck. It's really hard to make those decks work in singleton because they require both fast mana and the specific
Chalice,
lock
maybe.
pieces very early in the game. But like as with mana denial, I think that there might be, especially with more and more cards just with the word can't printed on them, I think there might be room to like start to build like more of these style prison decks. And I have seen an emergence of more of these, they're artifact based, but blue-white planeswalker style prison decks featuring things like Winter Orb, Winter Moon, like those types of things. So just something interesting that may punish the combo decks and also be good into the rest of the open meta.
I've heard whispers about these. I'm still doubtful as to whether they're good or not.
No
Because
idea.
every time someone shows me a prison deck, it's like 30% of the most hateful cards ever imagined, and then 30% of just these terrible, terrible cards
Horrible.
that they printed like 2 years ago and no one has ever played besides once in a cube. Right?
Yeah, fair.
But maybe.
I've played against it once and it was bad for them just because I was already teched out to beat Time Vault and they were an artifact centric deck. So it just didn't go their way. Yeah.
I have faith in the council. They make good decisions,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think they'll keep an eye on it. And if they make a decision, generally, I feel like they're pretty spot on with things.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they're pretty good about retroactively changing them. So
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to move to our final bit?
Let's.
What you got?
It is not a hot take, but it is a point to make / a point of discussion. And it is that I think I told you about this and the exact number, but I took all of our games so far, and I looked that we have recorded, and I for like 20 minutes went through and like logged how many each. How often does the person who goes first win, and how often does the person who does not go first win? For those that don't know that numbers and would want to take a guess at what that is.
Like what percentage the
What
person on the play
percentage?
wins
Yes.
in the form
At least in our recorded videos that we have.
I feel like it's higher than I want it to be.
So start at 50, and then do you go up? And if so, how much? 51, 60?
I go up like I probably go up to like a 68% sound number.
thinking,
I'm right around 70.
I'm thinking in like a
70 sounds
70,
high.
70.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty high.
He's like, no, it's only 20%.
That is where I would have guessed until Rowan told me.
It is 58%.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's above 50%. And the big question I have is that significant? Now, I don't work at WotC, but I would love to see the Moto like Legacy data, especially Legacy, my favorite format that I don't play. What does that look like in Legacy? If you win the die roll, how likely are you to win? In Highlander, it's currently 58%, or at least for our videos.
Pool. Yeah.
When a standard deck wins 60% of its games, they say, "Hey, this deck's kind of a problem. We're going to ban a card out of it."
Even 55% win rate, they'll say, "Hey, we recognize that this deck is the
too
strongest
strong.
thing you can be doing." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when I sit down to play Magic, I have a deck. I don't know what my opponent's playing. There is in Magic a little bit of a, dare I say it, a roguelike element of your top decks. Even if you need a land, you're going to draw a card that you can play later. But when you sit down and you lose that dice roll that you had zero control over, that sucks a lot. Especially in this format. Going first is fucking good. And when you lose the dice roll, you've already set yourself up to be at a 42% likelihood to win. And that kind of sucks. So the question I want to pose to you all is, if you could change the mulligan system or something about this game to make going second slightly better or going first slightly worse, what would you change, if at all? If you think nothing should change, that's fine, but should anything change? I have two ideas I'd like to propose.
I mean, I think the one we talked about was a lot of other card games just give you a little 1 mana boost, right? Hearthstone has the coin, which is just a lotus petal, a treasure. So whoever's second could start with a treasure in play. This has the side effect that it would naturally make a lot of like multicolor decks better, right? Because you have instant access to color fixing.
Could it be colorless and could it be not an artifact?
You'd have to do a lot more work to make that work, since like almost everyone knows what a treasure is, but explaining this is the rock that gives you a colorless
Instead
that nothing
Instead
else.
of gold, it's silver, so it taps for colorless.
It's an anti-power stone.
Yeah.
It's colorless, but it can't be used.
And
to
it works
cast
once.
artifacts.
Oh god.
Great.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that's a thought.
It is.
Do you have any thoughts? Yes.
My take on this is that's the game.
Okay.
In football, there's a coin toss. And that
But in the
decides who-
second half, the other person goes first, right? Or the other team goes first, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter.
It does.
Well,
matter.
When he goes first in the first half, the other goes first in the second half. That's fair.
Well, you couldn't be more wrong, but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
not
I'm not
Well,
good.
I don't watch football.
Neither do I. I still know that's not how that works.
Okay.
I think, like in the what you were referencing, like the legacy play data specifically, Legacy has tools in place in the form of like 4 Force of Wills, right, to prevent turn 0 shenanigans.
Mhm.
Sure.
A format like Canadian Highlander doesn't have as many, or very many at all, turn 0 interactive capabilities. The format is mostly governed permission-wise by 2 mana counterspells. Right, as soon as your opponent has 1 and a blue open, then we can slow down the shenanigans.
And the 100 card singleton nature of the format.
Yeah,
Is like
It's just inherently.
we don't get to
inconsistent.
play 4 Force.
It's inherently going to be a lot more like variance.
so folks getting to get in under a stifle and then get in under a mana leak, on the play in a format that I think is really, the games are determined within the first 3 turns of the game. It's like very impactful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything about the mulligan or starting.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's just another layer of fun where it's like, oh, I get to go first.
But if I don't win the die roll, I'm not having fun.
Practice your die rolls.
I have been.
Get
You didn't hear that.
some,
Hit the spin.
Yeah.
do some like wanted. Where you like spin in the
You do the
die.
Yahtzee spin.
Got to put it in a cup, shake it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, sometimes it feels bad because sometimes they just have, land,
Turn 1
Lotus
Lotus.
Petal, Mana Vault,
Land,
Time Vault, they
Mox,
take you, and then
it
you
sucks.
lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just have it. But yeah, to me, it's just like, that's the game. Somebody's got to go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if Now, if we're talking about Commander, I'd have a lot of opinions.
Ooh,
But
true.
we're not a Commander podcast, so I'm not going to say any of them.
I'm going second. I've got gemstone caverns every game, baby.
Hey, play Gemstone Cavern.
I mean, I do think there's things like that where you can sort of answer what your opponent's doing. Mental Misstep also does a similar thing.
My favorite white card.
You can sort of retake the initiative by having these tools that let you do that.
Drawing a card is also a very good thing to do in this format. So drawing your one extra card when you go second is also good. I'm just wondering, how long until that is too offset? How long until that's not enough?
I mean,
It's going to have natural balances.
look, I've been playing this game, specifically Highlander, for around 7 years. And I think, quite frankly, this has kind of been true roughly the same amount for most of that.
Fair.
So we got at least another 7 years.
Maybe this is.
I think this is an
I've been on
interesting
Blitz.
discussion, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. Maybe it's because I'm in my Blitz era. I just think going second sucks so much.
It does.
That's
Yeah,
probably why.
I do think that is a big point. You're playing a deck that really wants to go first.
Yep.
When I was playing tons of medium red, I felt the same way. It's like, if I won the die roll, I won the game. They're cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mattercraft Mountain.
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, this is a game.
Yeah.
Like it's a this is a board game kind of thing, and sometimes going first is just
Yeah.
it's a little
It's
advantage.
nice.
Going, yeah. In almost any game, right? Going first is going to inherently advantage you, even in like chess, because you are always going to have had more actions done than your opponent.
Yeah.
Like there have been 1,000 different board games who have tried to rectify this in various different ways. Some of them even worked, but can you port those over to Magic, especially without overcomplicating it? That's when it starts to get really annoying, really hard.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine with 58, honestly. Like
All right.
that's
I'm gonna practice my dice rolls then.
Person who goes second gets to scry one or surveil.
That was no scry.
Ooh,
That was my
you
thought.
want to make a scry. Surveil would be
That was one of
Surveil
my, that
was?
was one of my solutions if it needed a solution. Another idea I had was that the second person gets one free mulligan. But that might be too good.
Yeah. What if you could just junk one card on the draw?
What do you mean?
bottom eight, draw another.
Yeah. So like,
Huh.
so you get to keep the
Again,
hand that you
I
want
think
to
this helps
into,
combo.
but you can also
Yeah.
just recycle the worst card. So it is like
So it's like
a chance to improve a hand that you're happy to keep with the number of cards you mulliganed into. You may make it better, but you're not getting additional resources.
That is very interesting.
Because it's like a qualitative improvement of the cards that you have.
But not a quantitative.
Maybe, right? It's like a risk.
I don't think that's going to bring going second to being 51%. But the idea is, can you bring it closer to 50? I don't know if it's a real problem.
that being said though, that
Maybe
percentage
it's
is
just-
not great. You said it was 50,
58.
58. Okay, so it's a little higher than 50%.
51, I'd be like, oh, that's just variance. 58 is kind of big.
It's decently sized.
It's yeah.
Anyway,
I see what you're saying, but again,
that's my thought of the week.
Yeah.
sometimes them's the beats, you know.
I feel like where
Yeah.
we ended with both conversations is like we could probably work a little to improve this. You know, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's fine enough. Some slight adjustment.
Yeah.
Is the 58% actually just a product of a 3-game match? If you think about it.
It might just be.
Yeah, actually, if you went to best of 5, would it improve?
No idea. I don't work at Wizards. I don't know. I can't look at all this data and tell you.
Yeah, actually, if you if you presume that the winner of every die roll is going to be on the play, and whoever's on the play wins every game, then
Something.
Oh yeah, what is your data
Some-
from the match or the game?
This is something I wish I did. This is for games. I would love to see what it looks like for matches. So I might want to run through that again and see what does that look like for matches.
Okay.
Something to think about.
because a lot of games with aggro, I did feel like, all right, I win the die roll, so I win game 1.
You win, you
and then I
lose,
lose,
you win.
and then I win.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's just how it always goes. And sometimes my opponent would cook off, or I would cook off when I'm on the draw. But
Cook off.
Yeah, and 58's like right in the middle of 50 and 66.
Give or take, yeah.
I don't know if 60.
No, yeah, it's exactly.
I'm not the mathematician in the room,
No, that is.
but
That's me.
I think it's interesting. But I feel like
That's
any-
7/12.
any change
I
we'd
think.
have to take would have to come from Wizards, because
Yep.
I don't think we would diverge from WotC.
the
True.
Detroit Mulligan. Let's go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But alas, that's just a thought, and I'll leave you guys with that thought. Will the mulligan rules change? I'll leave you with that thought. If you have something you want to say about the mulligans / how going second sucks, let us know. Also, how do you think combo does in the year 2026?
Yeah. How do you beat combo at your store?
Is it a problem?
What combo do you play?
Playtime Vault.
Is
You
Mirror's
should-
Gal
you should-
playable?
You won't regret it.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
It's Time Vault.
My favorite Pokemon is also
My favorite
Time Vault.
time. Yeah. Time Vault.
All right.
All right.
Thank
I
you
think
so
that's
much for watching this podcast. I've been Zeke.
I've been Rowan.
I've been Adam.
I've been Warren.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.